it's Dale here. Today I'm going to show you how I emboss velvet. It's very, very easy. You need a stamp. I've used a polymer stamp, or I have my wooden stamps. I don't usually use a stamp that is glued to a base, because I found that sometimes they actually melt. So I'll just lay my grubby old polymer stamp on. This is one that is a lovely spotty one. Put the velvet down face with what you want to, with the face side down. Hot iron, give it a good iron, really firm. I've got a wooden table, but sometimes I use a wooden chopping board as the base. You want it to be very firm, and just iron it. Iron's on hot because the iron's always on hot, and lift it off, and there's your lovely embossed flower. Now it's quite subtle, and we could improve that in a minute, but this time I've got a wooden block, and I'll put that one down and see what happens. This is one of the lovely Indian printing blocks. Neither the polymer stamp nor the wooden Indian blocks are affected by the heat of the iron. And lift it off, and there's this lovely effect. Now there's a little bit of colour on this stamp, so let's fix it up a little bit more, if you can see it there, by applying a little bit of the Jaggard Gold paint. I won't worry about it whether it is everywhere, but once you apply the paint to it, I can tell you that if I wash that, it was very hard to actually get it off last time I did, so ironing it and all that, so it's pretty good for permanency. Of course you can then stitch it, and so I put this under here with the paint on, and we'll go the same way. Hot iron, give it a good firm iron, and what you're in fact doing when you do this is you are you're heat setting the paint at the same time. So isn't that gorgeous? So there's your subtle, very subtle one to another subtle one, and then once you put the paint on, you're double dipping. So you're doing embossed velvet with paint added, and then if you take something else, we'll take another little bit. So just look at that one there, because that's so gorgeous. And I'll just take another little bit that I might have here. Let's see. Perhaps we can put a leaf down onto a bit of a background. We'll see what happens with this one. Like I say, once you've ironed it, it's very difficult to get rid of it. And I had another piece just before that I washed and washed and washed and washed, so that I could show you again, and it's still part of it. So I always thought that once you washed it, it would disappear. Right up to there. And lift it off. And there's the leaf. I didn't do it so firmly there. I missed that bit at the beginning, but can you see how that's embedded so nicely into it? Now you could take that away and add it to your stitching, and of course, being velvet, you get that reflection all the time, so it's quite gorgeous. And I could cut that out and stitch it into a surface, or do whatever I like. And this is another little one that I've done before with this little stamp, or its little mate, just subtly onto a piece of velvet ribbon. Now this has been done quite a long time ago, but and while you may not be able to think you can see a lot, it's actually reflects in the light. So it's like this little stamp on either side, and so it just gives it subtleness that might just make that little extra to your piece. So there you go. Hope that's been a little bit useful to you, and that you've got stamps. But don't use the ones that are on wood, that are glued on, because I wouldn't guarantee them. I mean, you could use them, but you might find that your top melts like mine did. Okay, thanks very much. See you again another time.